Alright, Brian, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Why should you never fight Destiny?
I don't know. Give me the answer.
Because then you'll have to fight the bouncers and every other stripper in the club.
Well, Connor, that's not really that funny. But, that's okay, because the reason I'm sitting here dressed as a 70s porn director in doing videos because I initially came here because, it's been a while since I've had a platform to speak anything about. And I came here, I was going to make a joke about Tom Vance and then voice my disapproval, Then I realized two things. A, that would probably be not particularly sensitive. And B, I just can't complete the look without the mustache, man. It doesn't work. The joke would fall flat.
Yeah, I think that would be too soon.
A little too soon.
Yeah, and that's why I have not edited it out at all. Anyway, so we're here.
I'm gonna take these sunglasses off now.
We're here to watch Destiny and the Daleks. For me, it'll be the first time. I'm aware that, Brian, you are a fan of this story.
I do like this story. I'm alternatively here because JNT is on the crew of this story, and that's why I'm dressed like this.
Right, that's slightly less I guess. I don't know. Actually, probably not.
I mean, it is JNT, so...
Anyway. So, yeah, we're here to do Destiny and the Daleks for the quote-unquote worst of classic series, despite the fact that I like most of the stories. In fact, almost all of the series.
I don't imagine you'll like this one. I really like this one, though. I can't explain why I like it.
I have a feeling this could go either way, based on what I've heard about it.
Don't expect Genesis of the Daleks again.
I'm not expecting Genesis of the Daleks. Anyway, so, spoiler warning to anyone, because quite often in these videos we talk about stories that I have seen. I've seen all of you who are most classic, so just bear that in mind. Leave a comment for a episode for us to defend against that event. We like to do that at the end of these videos. The one that we do today, I'm not even sure whether it'll be interesting, but it's certainly one that's worth doing. And on this list on screen, we have the ones that I've done so far, and I believe at this point of recording, I will have done all of the 70s and 60s by the end of this video. But by the time it comes out, it won't be all of them because I'm doing them backwards because it's confusing. But Destiny and the Daleks is there, and by the time we finish all of these on the list, it will unlock Dimensions of Time at the bottom, which will be the finale of this Worst of Classic series, which I'm sure will be a bump of interest. Anything else you want to say before we crack into this story, Brian?
Tom Vance is a bitch and I don't like him. Also, now I'll save that for later.
Okay. Yeah, fun fact, this is technically, considering how I've been recording this, Destiny of the Daleks is the last Tom Baker story I haven't seen, and it's the last 70s story I haven't seen. So you have the honor of being here while I complete this narrow.
Lovely.
Wait, this is the regeneration scene, isn't it?
Yeah, the Romana regeneration scene. The infamous one. I have to say, everyone watching right now, that Connor always does this at, dinner time for some of us Yanks, so...
So she committed suicide so she could change her shape.
That's what I like to think, that throughout this entire scene, Romana's just going back into the back room and slitting her wrists constantly.
Oh my god. Also, it's also it's like Mary Tam's like... It's like Mary Tam, I know you may sin for Lord, but you did not need to regenerate. You are hot just as you are.
He was thinking about it for a second. He was thinking about it.
God,
that sounds even worse the way I'm dressed. Jesus Christ.
Too tall, take it away.
That is a very tall woman.
I realized you had such a sense of style.
I thought you said external
Ah, but it's nice to get them right, though, isn't it? Exactly.
Look, they had to find a way to recast Romana, and I think this was about as good as it could get.
Being
I
done
can't.
with
I just can't believe that Romana necked herself just to look like something else. Maybe because she's higher qualified on Gallifrey, she doesn't have limitations. Like, it doesn't cost her a life to do that.
You're starting to do that thing that I don't like, where you're thinking like a writer. Just don't worry about it.
I'm
man.
thinking
It's
for
just-
the writer, more like.
It's just fucking funny. Is all it needs to be.
It's funny, in a universe this big, it seems to go back to the same places quite a lot. I like how she's got a long scarf too. I really like her
Feminine
one
version.
from. I really like her State of Decay one, and I really like her Sharda one.
I like this sort of pink, effeminate version of the Fourth Doctor's outfit.
Oh, you're a six, as you're saying she's a girl, she has to wear pink.
Well, let's see what you make of it.
Sure.
God, I thought he was going to bash her on the head with that. It does suit her sort of like rosy look, you know?
I'll give you 3 guesses as to what planet this is.
Scaro, Exelon, Earth. Quicksand, isn't it? Or is it just an earthquake? Wow. Whatever planet it is, quake.
Underworld dentist.
Underworld dentist.
A lot of people think this first part is really boring.
Yeah,
I
well,
think it's really
a lot
tense.
of people think that a lot of things are boring and they're wrong.
Well, I think this one's kind of tense because like there's this creepy burial thing going on here.
There's a sort of
It's
rumbling
like,
as well.
You don't know what the, huh?
There's a rumbling as well.
Rumbling and like you don't know where the fuck they are and you don't know what's
I'm
going
in suspense. I'm in suspense. I want to know what's happening. I'm really, really excited. Even though it doesn't look like it. Cause
Well,
I'm like,
don't
because
get too excited, but
Oh no, I know.
you know,
That's cool.
worry, but you
Whoa!
get a real
thought he was-
sense for how like
I thought he was gonna slide down like a sand dune. Oh,
how everything connects on this planet.
oh, okay. They're getting bombed. Oh no!
Got it wrong on the first time. Why didn't we ask someone who saw it happen?
Motherfucker's being crushed by this giant bit of architecture. He just pulls out a book.
Oh, here we go. A bit of Lala Ward's signature, like we call it orgasmic terror, because she's like, oh no, oh. Oh, is that a cell phone? She bloody Kim Possible. What is he having? What is that? Is that a bloody... Is that like an inflammatory or something? I'm being crushed by architecture. I'll take a painkiller. Ah, the Mavellans.
I'm not.
Oh my god, what the hell? Whoa, that was a loud scream. Oh my goodness, what the fuck? Action replays? Is that multiple pits? Anyway. That was interesting.
Speaking of pits, you should go listen to the Security Kitchen production adaptation of The Pit.
Yes, we both appear in that.
I believe the planet is called Scar.
Ah, well, I was right. The first time. Oh. Ah, hello there. Oh, this is the cliffhanger that Dylan hates? Do not move.
See, that cliffhanger used to scare the shit out of me when I was little. Like, the Dalek comes bursting through that wall and I shat my pants, bro. I was like, "Whoa."
Okay, that was, you know... That was decent. I liked it. I don't have much to say about it. I don't know much to say
I mean,
about it because not a lot
yeah.
happened. But it was a good build-up. I liked the sort of blocking off the TARDIS, Doctor being crushed. Some of the comedy was decent. The Mavellan introduction, yep, we found out at Skaro. Then there's the Daleks. There's that thing where she gets pushed down into the thing. Like, it's not very eventful, but it was, I liked it. I enjoyed it, I guess.
Strap in, brother. Strap in.
I imagine this is where the memes begin, is the next episode.
I'm trying to be careful, Connor. There's white stuff coming out from between my buns.
God. Briar Hardo too!
It is my goal, Connor.
You're ruining my video just like I ruined Joey's video.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody robots of death commentary. Because it was funny when me and Mason were watching Armageddon
ruin
Factor.
everything.
When me and Mason were watching Armageddon Factor.
everything, just like how I ruin pussy.
Me and Mason, when we were watching Armageddon Factor, I was like, "Oh, Mary Tam's really beautiful," and he's just like, "No, stop." And I was like, "Okay, it'll end there." Not turning this into the robots of death commentary. Oh, he got so
They're
close.
too bumpy for me.
Is this the one where they hit the side?
He was grabbing
There we
his
go, yeah.
cock the entire time.
These Mavellans look like they go to the gym.
You know the Daleks?
Oh, that's a great bit of acting there from Tom.
As we are watching this, I want you to tell me what you think is wrong with these Daleks.
They're a bit like...
Just pay attention.
They're a bit tatty?
Just pay attention to their backs.
Oh, they're broken.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're
Production values.
Maybe they're in the middle of a war. Oh, also, this is the last Dalek story I haven't seen either. That's another thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You sure know how to... Look, that one has duct tape on it.
Ah.
I didn't notice that one before. We're gonna call him Ducky the Dalek.
This Mavellan is like a perfect blend of masculine and feminine. It's a bit like Paul McGann, actually. But a bit more cosmetic than Paul McGann, because Paul McGann's just naturally like that.
It's alright.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Not hating it.
I'm entertained. It's not particularly deep so far, though.
Good.
Like, it's a bit basic. Are the Mavellans just like hair? Is it just the painted on swampy hair?
What do you mean?
Because the Swampies in Power of Kroll are very similar hair to the Mavellans, but it's green instead of silver.
I don't know.
It's a bit more glamorous than the swampy hair. Curry sauce all over Uranus. Delicious.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day. Curry sauce all over Uranus. Out of context, it sounds like he's saying curry sauce all over your asshole. But I think, because I'm not sure what the full commercial is, but I think, in context, he probably means Uranus, like the planet.
Mm. Yeah, but I think that it's meant to be a play on your anus, though. I like how Roy Skelton sounds like he's gonna run into breath when he does the Dalek voices. Who do you prefer out of Roy Skelton and Peter Hawkins?
Depends. Sometimes Roy Skelton gives a really good performance, and when it's really
Yeah.
good, it is really fucking good.
Mm.
But Peter Hawkins is more consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent?
Yeah, Peter Hawkins is always good, whereas Roy Skelton, when he's on, it's like amazing. Like the end of Genesis of the Daleks, that speech is so good.
But then you get Roy Skelton's, Revelation of the Daleks.
I think the
where
best.
the voices are fucked.
I think the best of all worlds is just Nick Briggs' one. I mean, it's a cliche to say it, but Nick Briggs' Dalek voice is just so perfect.
My favorite Dalek voice actor is actually Michael Wisher from the Pertwee ones.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget he does the Dalek voices before Genesis.
Because if you listen to Wisher and compare it to what Briggs does, and combine the fact that Briggs also worked a lot with Michael Wisher before he died, it's clear to me that what Briggs is doing is an impression of Michael Wisher.
I think he blends like bits he likes together and sort of has this version that is like his fan favorite, if that makes sense. But I love Nicholas Briggs, like, adds so much character to their voice, like he gives them that sass, if you know what I mean.
That is true. The rest of them do sort of just
like no other voice actor could have done that Doomsday like bitch fight better than Briggs.
Yeah.
You are better at dying. This is not war. This is pest control.
The bitch fight of Canary Wharf.
Daleks have no concept of elegance. This is obvious.
Making me sad because I like this story better than Army of Ghosts and Doomsday.
Yeah, well, you're a hipster.
I also like Army of Ghosts and Doomsday.
Good.
Which, is an opinion that will get me skewered when Dylan finds out.
Well, no, Dylan doesn't hate it. He thinks it's okay.
Really?
Yeah, he thinks it's alright. It's just, there's some bits in it he doesn't like. Like, obviously he hates the beach scene. And he's not into the whole, like, fan fiction Cybermen vs. Dalek fight. But I know he quite likes part 1, actually. But to be fair, he likes part 1 of most stories.
To be fair, if I were to do a Cyberman versus Daleks fight, I would probably make it a bit more, big.
I'm looking forward to seeing the money that you provide for that budget, Brian.
But Dylan also just doesn't fucking like fan wanky stuff. So
no, he doesn't. But I think it's a good fan wank though. Like, there's a way to do it where it actually makes a good story, as opposed to, you know, like something like Asylum of the Daleks, where it's like, oh, there's every Dalek ever in it, even though there isn't.
Well, I like the idea. This is one of the things Moffat came up with that I really like, is that the Cybermen are sort of inevitable. And if we go with that through line, the Daleks are kind of just another version of the Cybermen, except for the people of Skaro. And I think maybe doing a Daleks versus Cybermen story where you explore that sort of commonality would be really interesting.
Brian, I'm enjoying this about as much as I'm enjoying that, like, pulp bit from Monster Peladon, if you know what I mean. Like, the half of Peladon that I wasn't, like, as high on is where this story is at for me. Maybe not quite as exciting, but it's... I don't know, there's not much to the story so far. It's pretty standard, just sort of fun corridors, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's why I like it. It's not really, you know, too sort of big or anything. It's not like anything to really write home about, I guess, but it's sort of just nice, fun stuff. And I like fun.
It's like, people always say that Terry Nation has 2 types of Dalek stories, and like this is the second type, I think, whereas Genesis is the first.
Well, the thing about this is barely even a Terry Nation script.
Yeah, it's mostly Douglas Adams, isn't it?
Yeah, Terry Nation wrote an outline and then basically chucked it at Douglas Adams.
Douglas Adams is like, what the hell do I do?
Pretty much. He didn't have very long to finish it.
No, he didn't.
Girl, got a friend?
Yes, they taught me at school how to stop the hearts.
Hearts. How many have you got?
I think that's where that originates from.
What?
Time Lords being able to fake death, because that's
happened
a couple times.
Well, it's used before this story a lot.
Is it?
Yeah,
I can't
it's used-
remember when it's
Tom
used
Baker
then.
does it like Tom Baker does it so many times. In the Hinchcliffe era, especially.
When is he... Why am I blanking on when he's done it, then?
He does it in Terror of the Zygons, I think.
But does he explain it, though?
He tells you that he stopped his hearts, yeah.
Okay, well...
He does it in Pyramids
I've
of Mars as well.
watched Terror.
He does it in Pyramids of Mars in part 4.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go fuck myself, then. I must be confusing it for... I first heard it from this story.
I think in the Demons he's forced to do it, but like it's not his choice. Because he gets frozen. And then he wakes up and says, Eureka!
Yeah.
Here we go.
Just as I thought.
So he's not dead. Nice. Wow, we're already halfway.
Yep.
Again, I don't have much to say. It was just corridors. That's all it was. It wasn't bad. It was just corridors. That's all it is. It's just schlock.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it.
No. I think there was that one line just towards the end where he says, I could have stopped it. Is that a little bit disingenuous? Is that a little bit kind of messing with Genesis?
Could have stopped what?
Because like he says, oh, he created the Daleks, I could have stopped him or something. And I'm like, but you chose not to for a good reason. I'm not saying that's bad. It may just be him tossing up in his head all the time, like. But the whole point of Genesis and the speech that he gives at the very end is that he did it for a reason. That out of all that evil, something good came out of it.
Well,
So,
I think
Don't know
it
about that
also
line.
comes across multiple times in stories after Genesis that he regrets making that decision. So I don't think it is disingenuous. I mean, quite a few people have already died in this story by this point. He's probably like, yeah, I could have stopped this. Shit.
Not sure about that. I like where it ends
Well,
up with
I
the
mean-
Time War, though. I will say, I do like how it ends up with him forcing to do it again, but having to sacrifice the Time Lords to do so. I like that a lot. Although to be fair,
Yeah,
then
I think it's just sort
to
of,
be-
just sort of.
to be fair though, Moffat retconned that, but you know it is what it is.
I think that's sort of what the intent of that line probably is. It's like, when he was in the moment, he was like, oh, I can't do it because good will come from the Daleks. And now he's just in this really gloomy, dire place where plenty of people have died already because of the Daleks.
I actually,
and he's
to be
like,
fair,
shit.
like thinking about decisions, like overthinking especially, like just thinking about decisions you've made it's a natural thing to do. Sometimes you feel like it's your fault, and then you think about it again. You're like, actually, no,
Well,
I need to remind
as
myself I
we've
did it for a reason, yeah.
as we've established, the Doctor feels like that constantly. So I don't think it's entirely out of character for him to
Yeah.
say, I could have stopped this in reference
Well, yeah,
to
considering
Genesis of the
he was on the
Daleks.
brink anyway, it is natural that he would be going back and forth on what he thinks, and yeah, okay, I can see that. Now, this will be interesting because I've never seen David Gooderson's Davros before. So yeah, I'm
It will.
intrigued to see where this goes.
You're right. It will be a little interesting.
I've heard the people that hate Destiny say that this is the point where it falls off a cliff.
Really,
Yeah.
people don't really like David Gooderson as Davros.
Well, I'm not sure if it's necessarily David Gooderson, but just in terms of the story, people say that, like, the people that really don't like Destiny say that Part 3 is where like the problems start. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll like it. Who knows?
Okay, then. That might be in reference to one line that's a little shit, because they seem to overblow. Everybody who doesn't like Destiny of the Daleks seems to overblow one specific line
Okay.
from the episode.
All right then. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't. We'll give it a go.
I think the implication is that no matter what form he takes, the Doctor has a vagina.
Okay.
Because think about it, right? His thing is, get in my box.
Well, Jackie Tyler says he's got 2 penises.
Jackie Tyler is wishful thinking because she's a sad woman who's middle-aged and can't get any dick.
Well, she can. She just can't keep them. Doesn't sound like that.
I actually really...
Huh?
Huh?
He's hopping around.
He doesn't. And that, combined with the fact that the mask does not fit his face at all, I think that's what makes his performance really stellar. Because he still gives a pretty decent performance without the voice changer.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like I wish there was a voice changer though. So the thing I'm most interested to find out is why they didn't kill him in Genesis. That's what I want to know.
They'll explain it.
Due to irreversible inflation.
Doctor.
What? Yes.
Do you believe your puny efforts can change the course of destiny?
Oh, now he's got a voice changer. The Movellans don't have much personality, do they?
No. But there's a reason for that. You'll see.
Inevitable destruction.
No. We had that conversation last time we met.
Oh, he's just putting it in his pocket.
I saw you.
Cannot allow myself the luxury of death.
Oh, poor Davros.
However,
Oh. Okay. I think I know where this is going now. Because I've seen the 80s Dalek stories, and I have a funny feeling I know why he's still alive.
What do you think?
It's something to do with, like, the Dalek race war? Maybe?
You'll see. If it's not clear by the end of the story, I will explain it to you.
Okay. I've got a hunch, though. I've got an insane theory. I don't know if it's true or not. But are the Movellans
Lay it
the
on
ones
me.
that become the... Are the Movellans the Imperial Daleks?
No. No.
Sorry, or
No, no.
whatever the other ones are called. I was just thinking, because they have
No,
that white
they're not.
costume, and I was thinking, are they like the white Daleks?
No. That is
Okay.
really wrong.
Alright, then. Well, it was just a
If
theory.
only it was that cool.
Because like, they would end up mutating into the other Daleks, whereas these ones are the ones that Davros has. Oh no, hang on. The ones that Davros has, they're the Imperial Daleks, right? And then the ones that are against them are the Renegade Daleks? Or the
The
Rebel
ones
Daleks?
that
I can't remember what they're
are
called.
against... Yeah, right now there's only one race of Daleks, and that's the one that Davros created in Genesis.
Okay. The guy just did his eyebrows up. He's like, yeah, we survived. Happy about that.
I didn't need... That guy's wearing a draconian
Cheers, bro.
robe.
Cheers, bro. We survived.
Now, I need 1 minute to get here. Get back!
Tom Baker is actually really good in this story. He's probably the highlight.
Side
I
movement.
hate this, like, really weird take that Tom Baker's performances in his late run aren't good, because I disagree with that so much. I think he's great almost all the way through. Even, yeah, in all of it. It seems like there's also, like, a divisive take. It's either you hate Williams Tom or you hate Season 18 Tom, and I'm like, no, they're both great. They're just different. I can see what you mean by low production values, though. This is very bare bones.
I think for what it is, it's really good, though.
It doesn't have a sparkle to it, if you know what I mean. Wait, did that Dalek just do a
That-
shrug? Ugh. What is that? Oh! We just chucked it.
I don't remember that scene.
It's basically like throwing a Nazi fetus against a wall. Jesus. I really like this location, actually. That's probably one of my favorite things about the story is the location.
See, that's what I was saying earlier.
It reminds me of a map on a game called Brute Force called Estuary. What? What? Hot potato with the gun? What is happening? Why is she doing a dance? Do they get dizzy really easily?
Looks like that's an EMP.
This looks like a big bong.
It's like a contained nuclear explosion, so it's a really nasty one, too.
Oh, dear. That's fucking brutal.
What did you think of that episode?
The Davros scenes were good. Tom Baker's performance is really good. The location stuff's really good. Apart from that, it's just schlock. I don't have
enjoyment level.
It's fine. I don't have much to say. It's just fine. It's just a fine.
Do you hate it as much as everybody else does?
Well, have they talked about the Daleks being robots at all? Because I know that's meant to be in the story, right?
That is one line, and in context it sort of makes sense, and I will explain why.
Is it in part 4?
Probably.
It's a bunch of set pieces, and there's some good Genesis catch up. The sets look cheap, but the location looks great. Tom's performance is fantastic. David Goodison is fine. Probably needs a bit more of a voice changer. The Movellans are like really flat, but I suppose there's a point to it. I like their costumes. Romana's all good. Like it's just, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. It's just schlock. You know what I mean? It's not one I can really review. It's just something that you watch and it happens.
Yeah.
I don't feel strongly towards it. It's kind of a lot of it's just sort of going in one ear and out of the other, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But I'm not disliking it.
I think it's a lot of fun. It's a couple hours of just good Doctor Who for me, but everybody else disagrees.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not enjoying it. I am enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. It's just yeah, it not just wobbly sets, but wobbly costumes. Oh, this is the bit that Dylan hates, right?
Yeah, that line right there. He says one race of robots fighting another, in reference to the Daleks versus the Movellans. But here's the thing. The Daleks are literally programmed to act like robots, so like the comparison still makes sense. I think, at least.
Well, considering that they showed considering they showed a Dalek mutant in this story, it's not like Terry Nation would have forgotten.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's an overreaction to say that the robots line is like, assassination.
Yeah, it's people blow it out of proportion all the time. I think he's literally just saying, one computer mind versus another.
You could have rewritten that line to be a bit better,
basically
but it's not as bad as Dylan says it is.
The meaning is clear to me. It's not clear to everyone else, I guess. But yeah, people treat it like there's an entire scene centered around how the Doctor's like, yes, the Daleks, they're robots and nothing but robots. And that's not what it is.
That's not true, because he picked up a Dalek mutant early in the story just before.
Scissors cuts paper.
We call it rock in New Zealand.
But suppose we were two computers controlling two great battlefields, each one working perfectly.
We call it rock in America, too.
Well, yeah, because the Dalek, even though it's an organism, it operates like a computer. Like, it can calculate, combinations and all that.
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah, like it's like a semi-organism, semi-piece of technology.
That's the crux of the story, which I think the Daleks sort of just explained as well. They're in a stalemate with the Mavellans, and they go looking for Davros.
Yeah, well, they're not because the Daleks, like in a literal sense, aren't robots, but they think like robots from time to time when they're in a war, because they think logically and tactically, rather than emotionally.
Exactly.
So it makes sense.
Whereas Davros thinks emotionally, so they think he's the key to winning this war.
And it wouldn't. And if they were actually robots, it wouldn't have taken him that long to make that realization. He's using an analogy.
Yeah.
The context was definitely an analogy, from what I saw.
And everyone treats it like it's meant to be taken literally. So,
well, that happens a lot in Doctor Who, and a lot of people are wrong.
Yeah. I've watched this story with Joey, and I've pointed that out to him, and he's like, "Shut up, Brian."
Well, that's just fucking...
I'm sorry you're wrong, dude. Like...
Yeah, well, you know. Some people just don't like listening. Like, remember when I tried to explain to them why I like Last of the Time Lords, and they just were like, no, fuck off. It's like, okay, you obviously just don't like listening.
Well, sort of like, that comes back to sometimes Joey and Dylan are really hypocritical. I haven't called out Mason yet. I need to do that. Mason, it's really hard for me to call you out because you're probably the least problematic person I do videos with. So, I don't know. Fuck you generally for not being as problematic as I need you to be.
Yeah, he's not an interesting character with a lot of depth. He's just a very plain, nice person.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro? You shithied.
Fucking McDonald.
But, yeah,
man.
as I was saying, Joey and Dylan get hypocritical sometimes, because one of the things that I didn't like about Caves of Androzani, still don't like about Caves of Androzani, and used it sort of as a scapegoat reason why I didn't like it, was the armadillo bat thing. And they gave me shit for that, yet here they are, and like one of their main reasons for not liking Destiny is the Doctor says the Daleks are robots. It's like, fuck off, dude.
I can just feel the sexual tension between these two. Even though they're playing Paper, Scissors, Rock.
Good Scissors cuts.
They just
Plot
have,
twist.
They just have such a
Tom
synergy.
Baker has a vagina and Lala Ward has the dick in the relationship.
Not gonna lie, I think the Mavellans would look good on a runway. I said this about the bloody Naimon as well. Just because they have long legs.
Like, okay.
I said when, like, the Kardashians should walk down the runway and as the Naimon. They should also do it as the Mavellans as well.
Okay.
I like this interpretive dancing. So the reason why they don't have much personality is because they're robots, right?
Yeah, that's the reason.
I think part of the issue with Dylan is sometimes he sees hard dialogue as statements about the story in a literal sense. That's why he often prefers storytelling that's subtle, because then it doesn't like impede on like a statement on him, if that makes sense.
Explain what you mean.
So like him saying robots is like him thinking that the story is trying to say Daleks are robots. But if the storytelling was more subtle, then he wouldn't have that. And that's probably why he likes subtle storytelling more, because it means he gets to make up his own mind about what's happening. But because when there's hard dialogue, it's like very direct. And then if someone makes a statement like robots, he thinks it takes it literally if it's a hard bit of dialogue. That's kind of my theory around Dylan. And that's kind of like going back to like what I was saying before about like Last of the Time Lords. Like, Dylan takes Last of the Time Lords in a very literal sense. Like, he sees the Jesus imagery and just thinks the show thinks the Doctor is Jesus, even though that's not what's doing. If you know what I mean? when
I see. I like that Master 3-parter, and I kind of agree with Dylan's point there. But like here I don't get it.
Okay. Maybe I'm just rambling. I see. So this story's theme is all about left brain versus right brain. Or at least, in the case of Mavellans versus Daleks, it's one side of the brain versus one side of the brain that are the same. And therefore there's a direct, like, logical clash. Whereas the third party, which is the Doctor's party, it's the other side of the brain. Does that make sense? That's what I'm seeing here.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Right, now I've given myself a justification to actually like the story. It took fucking long, but here we are. I finally found it. I will return. So is Davros ordering them to have bombs around them because the humans are sentimental, and so they will do what they say so they don't explode? Is that the idea?
I think the idea is Davros is thinking irrationally. He thinks by blowing up this one Mavellan ship, they'll have made a giant power move on the Mavellans,
and there's no way they can just throw the bombs at the ship rather than attach them to the Daleks.
Yeah, it's not one of his finer plans.
Really? Do not move!
I love Roy Skelton. Do not move! This is just kamikaze pilot thing. But is it really necessary? I don't know.
Is kamikazing ever really necessary?
No. Although, well, it depends on the context, but not really, no.
Kamikazing is normally the result of deranged minds, from what I know.
Would you count Rose's actions in the Series 1 finale as a kamikaze?
Would I count what as a kamikaze?
You know when Rose absorbs the TARDIS energy with the thing of, I could very well die, and I'm prepared to save the Doctor. Would you say that's a kamikaze?
Yes. I mean, it's a failed kamikaze because she doesn't die. Well,
no, it's not failed. It's more just the Doctor kamikazes for her so she can live.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as, cheesy as it sounds, as much as people don't like it, it is a true sign of love.
Well, also, the Doctor is on the brink of kamikazing himself before the Emperor tells him not to as well.
Yeah. What
There do
are
just be a
you,
lot of
coward or
kamikazing.
killer?
That is one of my favorite scenes in the show.
I love it.
And Eccleston is on point there.
Oh, absolutely. Is this the first story where they shoot lasers, or is that before this? Is that Genesis?
Genesis, they technically do, but, like, the negative effect is still the same as it is in, like, the 60s and Pertwee stories, where it sort of takes up the entire screen. This is the first one where the negative effect only surrounds the body.
Like, this is,
and
like,
doesn't
Destiny's
just,
the
like,
first one where
change
it's,
the
like...
entire screen.
Destiny's the first one that's, like the New Who effect, right? Oh,
Pretty
mud.
much, yeah. I mean, obviously you don't get
Whoa.
skeletons, but...
Whacked his arm off. I love the one where the controller gets shot and she says, I bring your destruction, and her skeleton moves up.
No offense meant at all.
The man who never would.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of explosions. Look at the little fucking snowflake.
God, Love of Water's beautiful.
Creation.
There is
Right, so this is how he gets... This is where we left off with him in Resurrection.
Yeah, so stalemate happened. After the Daleks lost Davros, they start losing the war because they're just like, well, what the fuck are we gonna do? Stalemate has to break at some point. And by Resurrection, the war's basically over, and they want to use Davros to sort of strike back, I guess. And then that fails, as you know, because you've seen Resurrection.
Oh my god, it's lifting the land. Or is it just lifting land?
Well, yeah, it drilled into the ground.
Oh, I see.
When it landed.
Well, I have made the odd mistake.
Right, okay, Brian. Was it explained in the story how Davros survived Genesis of the Daleks?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, what was it?
Okay, so you know that scene where they sort of start getting into it, catching up a bit?
Yeah.
There's a bit where Davros talks about his life support systems and how they had a backup and it basically took him some time to kick in, like a really long time because of the effect of the Dalek.
Okay, so with that question, if he had a backup on hand, then why did he listen to the Doctor in Genesis of the You said he had a backup, and he knew he had a backup back when Genesis happened, right? That's the idea?
Well, the thing is, because that switches on the chair in Genesis directly to press that switch, that turns everything off.
Oh, so, and oh, I see it, and also, like, honestly, because, like, backup would just, like, the Doctor just wouldn't let the backup work. Okay, that's fine. I was just asking, just in case.
Yeah, the idea I get from that switch just completely shuts the chair off.
Right, okay.
My guess is the explanation for why the chair wrecked buns out is he got shot in the chest.
Backup. Alright, that's reasonable. It's not the best explanation. Okay then. So, my thoughts on this story. I don't dislike it. It's not the best. I think a lot of it is just slop, which is, some of it's enjoyable. My favourite thing about it, though, and a lot of my favourite stuff about it actually interesting because of the second one, but it's weird because most people tend to hate the second one more than the first. For me, the first part was really, intriguing, a lot of build-up. I think part 2 is probably the weakest in terms of developing the plot, but that's only because it was mostly photo shot. Not to say that was bad, but it was enjoyable, but it wasn't substantive, if that makes sense. And then in part 3, a lot of it was also schlock, but it was also you got that scene with the Doctor and Davros catching up. And I did like that scene, and I thought Tom's performance was really good on that, and I liked the context of how they caught up. But I think where the story gets really interesting for me is part 4, when they bring up the analogy of them having robot thought patterns, which is not the same as what people say it is, which is just the Doctor straight up saying the Daleks are robots. It's not what he's saying. What he's actually saying is that there is a difference between being a left brain thinker and a right brain thinker. And he was assessing the fact that the Movellans, because they were legitimately robots, designed to fight the Daleks. And the Daleks had thought patterns like robots, even though they were organisms inside them. They fight with the same logical pattern on each side. They use the analogy of the rock paper scissors. In this case, it was paper scissors. And so they decoded that. Yeah, go ahead.
The Daleks don't just think robots, they're essentially basically the way basically the way the thing will show how people is the Daleks are essentially robots with organic bit at the center. Davros systematically remembers everything except for single-minded moves to everything. essentially.
Right, and so when you get the race
It is.
war,
It has
like,
been
I'm
programmed.
just gonna ask, because we do have, like, in the 80s we have the Imperial versus Renegade Daleks. I'm gonna imagine that the ones that aren't with Davros are the ones that are more organic and less robotic.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that idea then.
Because the issue with the Imperial Daleks is A, they're not evolved from original Khalid mutants anyway. So, like, they're already impaired. And B, they've been programmed with two things. Kill everything that's not like us and obey Davros. Obey something that is
But like you say,
original Daleks would see as inferior.
but like you say, on a deeper level, Davros is trying to program them as robotic as possible because of what happened in Genesis when he got betrayed. I guess that's the idea, right? And so,
Yeah.
if they have the least organic thoughts as possible, that means that Davros can control them. I think actually that works quite well. And so, because Davros made them so robotic, the Doctor was able to decode them against the rebellions. Because if the Daleks weren't like that, he would have had to have a different plan. And if they were less robotic and if they were more organic, like they usually are, especially with at the Time War Daleks are very organic, even though they still have the program to kill. They have a lot of, like, they're very devious sort of personality, especially the cult of Skaro. So I kind of like this concept actually, the fact that different Daleks are programmed different ways, some are more robotic, some are more organic, and it kind of goes back to that whole theme I was talking about before about left brain versus right brain.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
The Daleks in this story, I don't know if this derails anything you were implying. The Daleks in this story are the original Daleks. These aren't Imperial Daleks.
yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is that
Just making sure.
But what I'm saying is that in Genesis of the Daleks, these same Daleks, I imagine. Hang on, let me just double check. Davros coming back to life took control of those Daleks, right? Or was it the other way around?
So the Daleks go on a search for Davros because he's an irrational creature that they hope can break the stalemate between their computer minds and his computer minds, basically. They're hoping that him being irrational is the key to breaking the stalemate.
Right.
And it does break the stalemate, which is not in their favor.
I see.
So you have this recurring theme from Destiny and Resurrection, but that the original Daleks only ever bring Davros back when they need him and try to use him. After he serves his purpose, they will toss him aside. And in Resurrection, Davros is pretty much like, I've had enough of this fucking bullshit. I'm gonna start over.
So the idea is that the Daleks are at their most robotic and least organic at the start of their creation, and they change over time. And as, especially the ones that deviate from Davros, they become more organic and have more irrational thought, more personality. Which is kind of ironic, actually. Is that the idea?
Yeah, there's some stuff.
Because I would say the cult of Skaro. I would say the cult of Skaro are about as far from these Daleks as possible. They are the most organic, the most
You've got. I think with the Imperial Daleks, because you also have issue with the novella thing is you don't know what accent is yeah, and they don't do a very good idea of establishing, there's something off with these people.
I think maybe you
other
could have.
than
I feel
they're
like
boring as
I feel
fuck.
like if I was
There's a
if I was editing this story, I would have a lot of what happened in part 3 and part 2, and then have a lot of what happened in part 4 and part 3, and then just extend the ending and develop the theme a bit more rather than have like the schlock. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think this story could definitely do with another draft.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
won't
certainly
deny you that.
it's certainly rushed, but it's rushed by writers that are very
But
good
you also
most of the time.
you also have to take into account that Fairy Nation was confused in a script basically and said, "Aha, how about I just give you an outline instead?" By the time his deadline came out, so Douglas Adams has to be like, "Fuck, okay, I gotta write a season opener, and I do not have very much time."
Unlike some people, this is not my least favorite Terminator story. It's still the Android Invasion.
The Android Invasion is my most favorite Fairy Nation story as well.
I like this one, the Android Invasion. But yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought it was an alright story. It wasn't like I didn't love it. And it's certainly my
I guess
it's not my least favorite Devil story either. That's still The Magician's Apprentice by far. Like Magician's Apprentice is way worse than this story for me. Even if the production looks better, the writing is just absolute dog shit for that story in my opinion. Whereas this, I actually think is better than that story. Would you agree with me?
Well, I'd agree because I think, despite that second part of the destiny, the script here, although
Oh, I mean, are you forgetting all the filler?
Elegant
are
and
you forgetting?
fancy.
Are you forgetting all the bloody filler in Magician's Apprentice? Like just going around to all these different planets, and then you got this stupid planes in the sky scene, and you got the doctor playing guitar and all that. Are you
that's
forgetting about all
true.
that?
I don't like Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar at all. But a lot of people don't like this story. Then Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar. And my argument for that is Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar, is incompetent and insulting, whereas this one is competently written. Maybe not like it might be a little rough around the edges, but
Let me put it this way: the
do
heart,
anything.
the heart of the
Doesn't
story
really
is
do
there.
anything
The
to
heart of the
insult.
story is there, and it's in the right place. It's just a bit rough around the edges. Like the execution is a bit rough around the edges. Whereas with something like Magician's Apprentice, the heart is actually in the wrong place from the start. And like I think people like it more because obviously production values, but mainly because you have those scenes with Peter Capaldi and Julian Bleach, which are really well acted. But I think people tend to lose sight of the fact that those scenes actually mean nothing once you see the conclusion. At least in my opinion, I feel that way about Which is Familiar. I think a lot of the twists in the story ruin a lot of the things that could have been good. And yeah.
yeah. Whereas everything here sort of
I thought Tom Baker's performance was excellent. I thought he did a really good job. He was probably the standout. David Goodison, I don't dislike him, but I definitely think he's the weakest actor to play Davros compared to Michael Wisher, Terry Malloy, and Bleach.
I really like it.
I mean, he's good, but like, I don't have much to say about him. Really. He's just sort of, he's like Michael Wisher, but less. That's kind of how I feel about him.
I sort of like that. Like that's. I like a more. Obviously, I like Shadow Davros, but I also like a more refined one as well.
Yeah, but I think if the voice change was more consistent and it sounded more
Like Michael Wisher plus David Henderson, like if you balance them, you get Terry Malloy's back. Not like Terry Malloy's sort of best.
Terry Malloy is great. I think also Terry Malloy in Big Finish is very subtle. I really like his like soft Big would you have felt if, say, like, for example, Mary Tam agreed to be in this episode to take the generation away? How would you have felt if they had Mary Tam's Romana in this story and then she got, like, I don't know, shot by a Dalek and then the scene happens at the very end of the story?
You'd lose the funny gag at the beginning. That's how I...
Yeah, you probably would, wouldn't you?
I think the gag.
Yeah, because when I first was seeing it, I was thinking, like, oh, it's just like, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, that's probably... I like it.
Oh, dear. Yeah, the Daleks, they were fine. How do we feel about the ending? That was like pushing down because a lot of people say that's really funny.
I think it is.
I like the way the Doctor just smiles and lets go because he knows what's about to happen.
Yeah, you can't see me right now, but I'm doing a really creepy smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it.
What about the actual plan itself, though, to kamikaze the Daleks?
My explanation for that is
Davros has morning brain. He isn't thinking. He's been asleep for centuries. He just woke up. And the Daleks are like, okay, we're in the middle of this really complicated war with a really complicated stalemate. Davros just goes, oh no, why are you yelling at me? Go, fuck off and blow yourself up. And that's why the Daleks plan fails, because they wake him up and don't give him his coffee.
It is a bit silly. I mean, I love silly Doctor Who, but I don't know. I feel like there's something about this one where I almost wish it was slightly different. Whereas a lot of the other silly ones, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy that it is silly.
As far as a sequel to Genesis of the Daleks, I think that's what most people like.
Oh yeah, no, it pales in comparison. The funny thing is that I know a YouTuber called Cody W1 refers this story to Genesis of the Daleks.
Ooh, I'm not sure if I'd go that far. I mean, I do like this story a lot, but I don't think I'd go that far.
Yeah, he is one of those people where it's like, oh, the only thing that matters in the story is entertainment. And he finds Genesis boring.
I agree with him to a certain extent, but like, I'm definitely less objective than Cal.
But more than Cody W1.
It's nowhere near as good as Genesis. From both a subjective and an objective. Genesis of the Daleks is just more tightly written. And better performed, better production values, all around. Like,
Genesis of the Daleks
is the better.
Genesis of the Daleks is one of my favorite Doctor Who stories. And it's a cliche and it's in my name and my channel for a reason. Man, it's so good. It's amazing.
There's a reason the channel's called Genesis of Androzani and not Destiny of Androzani.
Yeah, not bloody Destiny of Frontiers.
Destiny of Awakening.
Destiny of Awakening. I want someone to name the channel Destiny of Awakening. That'd be a good laugh.
Would be a good one.
So I've seen every 70s story and every Doctor Who story now.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Accomplished, but I also, not gonna lie, I kind of wish it was something else. I kind of wish I'd finished on a different story. But hey, what can we do? I mean, my
What's
last.
your final rating out of pretend.
Well,
like,
we're not going to get to
I
that
need
yet.
to
Whoa,
know.
whoa, whoa, calm down. We're not to that yet. But I was just going to say that
I need to know. It's been burning in the pit of my stomach
No.
all the time.
You're gonna have to wait. So, in terms of how the story was received, and just to continuity guide this in, the serial had a tacky, inconsequential feel that comes from it having its best jokes sneered at.
That's hurtful, man. I mean, part of the issue is, like, I can, despite the fact that I love this story, I can see where some people are coming from with why they don't like it. It is really tacky. It is kind of rough around the edges as far as the script goes. Some of the performances are really wooden. Like, there's a big episode where it's just running around corridors without anything happening. So it's Destiny of the Daleks is really hard for me to defend because, you know, on one hand, like, you pay attention to some of the writing. It's really good. But also, like, some of that writing is also fucking terrible. And by the point you get to the good stuff, you're already tuned out because it's been nothing but shit for the first half. And it's just...
I don't think it's that shit. I don't think it's that bad.
It's... The first half is boring, is the issue.
I don't think it's that boring. I think it's okay. It's serviceable.
It is a very slow to start story.
Sure, the substance of the plot takes a while to get going, but it's not terrible. Like, what they fill it in with in the first episode especially is all good. Second episode, not so much, but it's not the worst. Like, it's fine. I think maybe what they should have done is they should have had, like I said, they should have had Davros appear at the end of part 1, and they should have had part 3 be part 2, and then they should have fleshed out part 4 as the last 2 episodes. That's how I would have done it.
Yeah, I can't entirely disagree with the discontinuity kind of assessment. It has all the problems that people, for the most part, say it has. I'm not sure where it ruins Genesis, or the Daleks, or the Doctor says the Daleks are robots thing comes from. Those are the only two things that confuse me, because I just don't see it, I guess, but everything else I can sort of understand the criticism of. I can see why some people would find it boring. I can see why some people would not want to sit through it. I can see the tacky set design. Like, the Daleks are literally falling apart. There is duct tape where wood should be on a Dalek.
Yeah, they say, like, people are saying it looks shabby. And it certainly looks shabby in some ways.
It looks terrible. Like, there aren't a lot of Doctor Who stories I will actually be like, that looks fucking dog shit. Destiny of the Daleks looks like dog shit.
It did.
Whether it be like the really bad 70s design.
I don't think it's as ugly as
the
some
shitty
other
Daleks.
stories, though. I don't think it's as ugly as something like the Invasion of Time.
Yeah, that's true. But it's up there with the Invasion of Time in terms of ugliness, I think.
It's fair.
The Invasion of Time is
Actually, no, I'm going to disagree with that because I think the location looks great.
The location does look good. I will give it that. But, like, everything else is kind of shit. I mean, the main control room for the Daleks is just like...
I mean, the set design...
a blue-floored BBC studio.
The set design does kind of look like a junkyard, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. Most other people are saying, like, David Goodison was a lesser actor, the Daleks are robots, Romana's bizarre regeneration. They're basically just saying all the things that people usually say. But they also said that
Romana's regeneration works better if you literally just take it for what it is, a
Yeah,
joke.
but like
is what I'm trying to. Is the point I'm trying to get?
But everything it says, despite that, in spite of its flaws, it was classically good fun. That's what they all say.
In spite of its flaws. I have never seen anyone say. You're the first person.
Well, I've seen 3.
I haven't.
Despite its flaws.
Really?
I think this, like, in terms of the DWM rank, this is one of the highest ranked ones. This is actually one of the people that enjoy the series.
Huh. What? I thought I was
Well, it's only within, like, it's only within, like,
the story as much as I do.
it's only within this,
Well, I'm a hardcore fan.
yeah, no, but you're special.
I am.
So this was but it's basically based off of an idea that
Right, but I think there's also this Douglas Adams.
City of Death was David Agnew. Yeah.
Already working.
They should have done a pseudonym for like
Well, I think the thing with
yeah, and Aeronautics Mars.
and Robert Axe.
Well, I think Terrence Stick said something
Basically
like
said,
that.
please.
He said that he didn't like it because he funny. It's funny though. It's a great movie. So it's funny how it's said.
Yeah.
Like this backstage mess.
Terry Nation.
Most people like it. It's a little bit.
Most people do like it, but it's not my favorite. So what's...
I like season
The Android Invasion.
2. Yeah, same. It was
It's really the only bad one.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. For by far, like for me, the gap between Android Invasion and Zygons is absolutely huge. Like it's this just gulf of nothing between them.
Actually, I don't like Zygons either. I always
Really?
forget Zygons is in season 3.
You don't like
Yeah, I
Terror
don't
of the
like
Zygons? Oh, it's
Nope.
all the people.
I'm just not a huge fan of the Zygons in general.
Well, it's all you people in your little group, like you and Joey and Dylan, don't like Terror of the Zygons, and I've never understood why. I think Matt Walters is the same.
I'm just not entertained by it. I think it's boring.
I've never understood that. I think it's amazing.
I've just seen. I'm not a huge fan of like the duplicate body thing. Like I don't like the faceless ones either.
Oh, man, I love the faces.
Now that's one that Joey, Dylan, and all the people in my they're like, oh, how can you not like the faceless ones? It's great. It's like planes aren't scary.
Oh dear. This story was directed by Ken Grieve. I think most of his camera work is fine. It's just the set. It's just the set. That's the problem. It's just the set. It's so cheap.
I agree.
But his location filming is really good, actually.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
Music by Dudley Simpson. I didn't notice much of it, to be honest.
I don't think there's a lot of
No, it's not really.
a lot of musical scores.
Yeah, it's quite a cold sort of
Which I think sort of seldom style.
Now this story is quite a bit. So, one of Romano's concepts generates silvers from the recipe.
Oh, okay.
Some with partial death, but could lip read and random school for deaf actors.
Oh, okay. Is that the main guy with white hair? Sort of like a supporting character who's like a villain.
This is Terry Nation's final script, directed by the 1980 Century.
I know.
Of course,
It does not fit. Does not fit.
apparently the reviewer in this story is very similar to the Japanese that kind of brand.
Well, it's written by Douglas Adams, so that makes sense.
Apparently this is the first story of Doctor Who to use a Steadicam.
I don't know what a Steadicam is because I'm illiterate.
It's a rig used to obtain smooth, stable shots from a handheld camera. So it's like so it doesn't wobble.
Oh. Okay.
I know what it is. Oh, apparently they wrote the K9 business story. So David Brylow's K9 doesn't appear in the original bit. He's not really in Sneak, but then they say his name. Oh yes, Romano wears the same costume in that Doctor Who mixes match version, you know, the Prime computer.
Ah, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Clever Prime.
It's funny because that ad ends with the Doctor proposing to marry her. It's funny because they ended up getting married after season 18 in real life.
Heh. Divorce is funny.
Oh, apparently this is the first time since the Green Death since the story's individual segments are called episode rather than part.
Are they?
Yeah. We were absolutely right. This is the least scored of all Dudley Simpsons. No episode has more than 90 seconds of music. Episode 4 has none at all. Wow. Much of the story was originally meant to take place at night, but the budget would not permit this kind of filming, so it had to be rewritten for the day. Apparently, Terry Nation was unhappy with Douglas Adams pointing out the Daleks' design flaws because it would make him less popular to the viewing public.
Okay.
How dare you expose things about my creatures that are true? Here's a very interesting bit of trivia. According to David Goodison, Tom Baker would never allow people to think the series was a joke and would reprimand actors who felt were out of order.
I remember. There's this.
Alright, Brian. plot isn't the best, but I think it tackles some really interesting sort of ideas about left brain versus right brain, and the robots thing isn't as bad as people say, and the Genesis sequel thing isn't as bad as people say. And David Quitterson is fine. Tom Baker's really good. I love the look. And it's a sort of fun, shocking story. It's not but it's definitely not and I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's fair score. It's not as bad as guys.
So I was coward. Actually, I was coward.
Well, Callum gave it a 4.5 when he watched it.
Really?
Yeah, I can actually watch his reaction to it now. Anyway.
Can't say I will.
Anyway, so it is now time for us to defend this episode against content. I'm not sure if I told you this before. Did I tell you?
I don't.
We are doing Battle of the
That one. I've
Ryan.
You know what? They're kind of on the same level for me. Like, I will give Battle of Rand score at it's less insulting to the show's lure, I guess. But I don't know which one I'd prefer to watch. Is what I'm saying.
I mean,
I guess.
I will say, the Battle of Ranskorav Kolos is about as void of entertainment as you can kind of get in this show. It's so bland, so cardboard, so vapid.
See, it's like the two of them they're like on equal playing field, but it's for different reasons.
Kind of the extremes of they're kind of like the extremes of not that beautiful.
It's sort of I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again, but one of the things that a story can do to make you hate it is Hellbent is not boring all the way through. There are bits of it, there's a lot of it that is boring. But Battle of Ranskorav Hellbent, whereas I guess Battle of
and it's the fact that despite Graham and Brian's sort of, moment at the end of It Takes You Away, in this story he's on a sort of mission to kill Tim Shaw. And I feel like that might be a bit forced in terms of Graham's character, because up to this point we've never really seen him have that kind of aggression. So I'm a little bit unsure about that.
If I had to compare Battle of Ranskorav Kolos Hellbent would be like Callum. Do you like the Mason joke, or do you like
I think Mason's a nicer guy.
I'm just fucking around, babe.
want me to make a guess? Hellbent is like Hitler. Battle of Ranskorev Kolos is like
Stalin.
well, not Stalin. I was thinking like who's the most boring politician that you would know. I don't know.
Woodrow Wilson.
Someone that people just like forget. I don't know.
Woodrow Wilson.
No idea.
Woodrow Wilson. Boring motherfucker.
It's just like
That guy did not do shit.
I don't know. Battle of Ranskorev Kolos is sludge, but it's I don't hate it like I hate Hellbent. It's just a misfire, really. It's just a sort of bland series end the bland series. I think it's just this sort of Tim Shaw returns and there's no fanfare. It's really dull.
Coochie coochie.
Yeah.
Our boy.
And there's like shots of Tim Shaw turning his head and trying to be a badass like a DC villain. The Doctor is the Doctor is quirky and says a lot of exposition, as does Yaz. There is actually something I really don't like about it. It rips off the Pirate Planet and it rips off Journey's End as well.
I'm interested because you did this for. Ranga last time. You said that each of these stories that we're defending comes from someone who said, defend this against Hellbent. I think it's worse than Hellbent. I want to know what the person who recommended Battle of
They said Hellbent looks like it actually has effort put into it, whereas Battle of Ranskorev Kolos is like the most phoned in story. Which they're not wrong, but I don't think that's necessarily.
They're not wrong.
There's not necessarily a reason for it being better or worse in terms of execution. I think that's just
Yeah,
kind of what happened backstage.
Twin Dilemma looks brilliant next to Destiny of the Daleks, but I'd say Twin Dilemma is shit compared to Destiny. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I haven't seen Twin Dilemma in the series.
Oh. What about Time in the Rani?
I haven't seen that either.
Give me a story that you think is shitter than Destiny of the Daleks, but looks better than Destiny of the Daleks.
Android Invasion.
There you go.
Yeah, because actually, to be fair, the production values in the Android Invasion are actually quite good. Like, the stunts are really good.
Yeah.
Like, that bit where the Doctor jumps off the building, I love that. That's so cool.
There you go. That's the defense. The look of a story does not determine whether or not it is actually.
Well, actually, no, to be fair, they weren't just talking about production values, they were talking about the script. Like, they believe that Moffat put his heart and soul into Hellbent's story, whereas they believe that Chibnall's like Battle of Ranskorev Kolos is just like minimal effort.
I think they're both pretty fun. I think because Moffat seems to do this thing that I do a lot of the time when I'm writing. Hellbent feels like Moffat gave up. He was just like, fuck it. I gotta end it somehow. That's what Hellbent feels like.
Well,
Battle of Ranskorev Kolos, on the other hand, feels like Chibnall thought it was a really good idea, and it wasn't.
yeah, because he's just like a sort of lame Gen X boomer.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he thinks that like Doctor Who is this really simple show for children, and it's really not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Battle of Ranskar Colossus. I think at its heart is just a generic bad. It's not like a really horrible, but it's just in terms of entertainment value, I think it comes across much worse than it actually is, just because it's so dull.
It doesn't, like I said, other than the fact that it like riffs from other stuff.
It's just kind of like
the
it's just sort of
script
just
is
like
sound
it's just a
enough.
sort of like homogenization
there aren't
of
really-
stories, isn't it?
There aren't really any plot holes in Battle of Ranskar Colossus. It's just sort of.
I can't remember. I can't remember if there is or not. I haven't seen it since a broadcast, so I have to rewatch it.
I just remember being bored by it all.
Yeah.
Whereas
You know what's weird?
actively made me
It's so
mad.
weird. In the Battle of Ranskar Colossus, there's a bit where the world almost ends, and I always forget about that.
Yeah.
But it just felt like a.
prove how
it just
boring
felt
it
like,
is.
It just had all the like surface level elements of what like box ticking in a finale, but it had none of the substance, and I think that's the issue. Like the only substance that was there was Graham was like, I need to have revenge for Grace's death, and in the end he's like, actually no, I'm not going to. And then he fist bumps Ryan. That's all.
I think he should have shot Shaw. That's what I think.
You are an American.
I would have gone that route. I would have made it. I would have done the character drama thing that he cock-teased us with. It's like, I feel like Chibnall just doesn't have the balls to do certain things.
He's just such a
I
passive. It's weird. 'Cause he's such a passive writer, even when he's doing ambitious things with the time of child.
It's like,
He's just such a passive
it's like
writer
he has really good ideas and then he won't let himself go through with them.
They're really scared and they just can't go very far. As a finale, I think the Battle of Ranskar Colossus, to some extent, it does kind of succeed in its mission statement, but the problem is the mission statement itself is really boring. Whereas Hellbent, it directly ruins previous episodes that were actually giving some really good potential, like Heaven Sent, for example. Like that really set up some proper potential for storytelling, but and it just kind of shits on it. Whereas Battle of Ranskar Colossus just kind of does the same boring shit that Cersei was already doing, and it's kind of consistent with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, the Battle of Ranskar Colossus is below average. It's pretty bad, but I don't think it's as bad as Hellbent. I don't think it's as damaging. It doesn't have enough energy to down the series as Hellbent. It's just another stale series of legends.
Good ideas that don't execute properly. Too scared to execute them properly. And Battle of Ranskar Colossus is an example of that. Choosing that strength Vent is Moffat's problem. A fuck ton of really good ideas, throws them all into a blender, and then can't quite piece them back together and figure out how to do them. And so just ends up giving up and giving the audience this tangled mess of bullshit.
Yeah, Moffat is an ADHD writer, whereas Chris Chibnall's like one of those like Zen monks that drinks green tea.
Chibnall's just like, oh, here's a really, really, really good idea, but I'm afraid it'll piss people off if I go through with it all the way.
So I'm
And
just
so
gonna
he doesn't go through with
Is
it
it-
all the way,
Yeah.
and it ends up pissing people off anyway.
So it's just like this undercooked anti-story, whereas with Moffat it's an overcooked fucking disaster.
What we need is someone in the middle to put things just right.
Russell T Davies, big gay one,
There we go.
is the perfect showrunner.
I concur.
No arguments against it.
I concur. Because I went through a phase where, oh my god, I really give the artist here. I realized that Dylan talking, and watched their own shit. It's like
He's a charming lad, and his character arc is much more intentional than people think.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. Right, so anything else you want to say before we end this video, Brian?
Still hate Tom Vance. He's a creepy dick.
But we love Mason, though, don't we?
I just want to make that clear because, like, I haven't had very much of a platform to, get my opinion out there. I'm not gonna put my 2 cents in. Yeah,
So you think that
fuck it.
So you think my channel is more of a platform than Twitter?
Yeah. I think I made a tweet of like fuck you, Tom Vance. I just need to make sure everybody who watches our little interviews of Doctor Who YouTubers knows that I fucking despise Tom Vance. And also, like, on a totally different and unrelated topic, Mason, you're a good continent, and that's how I choose to call it. We do stand McDonald's now.
And that is a great little jingle to practice at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching, Brian. Thank you for coming on. I believe the next time you'll be on might be Terminus. I think it's Terminus.
It's so fun.
You're just about one of the only people I know that does.
Because here's the thing, a lot of people, nobody likes Terminus. There isn't one person I have met who likes Terminus, but also nobody thinks it's so bad it's fun. I'm the only person I know who thinks it's so bad it's fun.
Yeah, so the next one you'll be on is Terminus. Looking forward to that. I actually am a massive fan of Mordred Undead and Enlightenment, so I'm interested to see where the middle of the Black Guardian trilogy is in terms of that. So we'll have to wait and see.
What's the next one you're doing after Destiny?
Well, I've actually already filmed it, but the next coming out for the audience is Hold the Dialogue with Dylan, but I've already filmed that one. In terms of the next one that I'm filming, though, will be Fall to Doomsday with Matt of Universal.
You've never seen it?
No, I haven't, and I know that James Goss is a big fan of it.
So. Yeah.
No, look, I'm gonna go with an open mind and see what happens. I've heard some things about what Andrew says in it, but go with an open mind and see what happens.
It's so clever. You don't know.
Alright then, thanks for joining for this. We'll see you all next time
No
for the
problem.
Horns of Naimon. Bye bye.